stitchy friends, my name is Lauren and welcome to my channel Stitching in La La Land. Today is Friday, September the 15th, 2023, and it's episode number 5 of my Flosstube. I mostly talk about cross stitch here, and I do have some crochet to show you today. So I've got a finish, a semi-finish, some whips, some haul, and some plans to talk with you about today. So let's get started. First, this is my first finish, and it is the crochet project that I told you about. This is the Sunday Funday top from Tamara Kelly of Moogly, and I'll put the video for the tutorial and the link for the free pattern in the description box. This is the medium size. I originally started out making the large size, and when I got about halfway through the front, I figured out it's going to be too big because this is quite large as it is on the medium. This is a different yarn than what was recommended. This is the band for it. It is Lion Brand Yarns Mandala Ombre in the colorway Happy. And my mother-in-law got it for me for Christmas, so I decided to make something with it finally. And see, it took me about 7 days of working on it, which I could have cut down at least 1 or 2 days off that if I had started out with medium. And I also did the gauge swatch finally. I hardly ever do the gauge swatch, because I don't hardly ever make stuff that it matters if the gauge is right or not, but I did. And so I also used a different hook than it recommended. It recommended to use a J, and I used a K. So I tend to stitch tighter anyway, which is probably why my hands hurt from stitching with crochet and for knitting. I hold on to stuff tightly. I think that's the problem, but that's okay, because I do cross stitch mostly and I don't have any hand problems with that. Let's see. This took 3 cakes to make the medium, but if you were to use variegated yarn and want to match up the sides, which I mostly matched up the sides, but if you really want to make it perfect, I would suggest doing 1 more ball so that you have all the colors to match with, because I ended up not getting quite matches on the edgings around some of it and things like that, but you can't really tell, so it's alright. It worked out for me and I'm happy with it, and I'll be able to wear it on our cruise next month. And I'm sorry I keep moving the camera. I keep forgetting that the table is attached and I'm moving it, so I'm sorry. I will work on a different placement for my camera so that it won't do that anymore. But this will look good over just like a black tank top or over my swimsuit. So that's my plan for that, to wear it on my cruise, and it's all done. Let's see. Next we have a semi-finish. This is the Witchy, Garden Witches Crafts stitch along called Witchscabinet. So here's where we are now. So it's a semi-finish because we got the border, all of this, on September the 1st, and we won't get any more until October the 1st. Well, I haven't showed you these needle minders yet either. This needle minder, Ollivander, and I've got one more to show you as well, came from my friend Deborah at Stitch Fauna. She made this stitching bag for me. And it says here for the booze on the inside in here. And she gave me that needle minder and a Harry Potter needle minder, which I think is on my Diagon Alley one. So I'll show you that when we get to it. But those needle minders came in since the last WIP update. So I did that. I do have that. And I also made another grime guard Got a few of them. So this one's one of the ones I made. I'm probably gonna make one more like this, one more colorway like this, because I have a lot of that fabric. So that's another mini finish. I finished that. That only took 5 seconds to do. I followed a tutorial from the Giddy Stitcher, and I'll put that in the description box as well, so you can find that if you want to make your own grime guards. It's a really easy tutorial to follow along with. And I really like Giddy Stitcher anyway. Okay, so, oh, I didn't tell you about this fabric. Goodness gracious. My head is just everywhere today. Okay, so this fabric is Twilight Lavender Opal, and it is from the same person that started the Stitch Along Witches Garden Crafts. Her store is on Etsy. I'll also link it below where you can get the fabric, and I'll link where you can start the sal too if you want to start that sal. And I'm using the called for DMC on that. And I did do some zigzag stitch along the edges to keep it from fraying. And it is gridded with a metallic sulky thread. Okay. Maybe my nerves will get, like, not knocked out in a minute, and I won't be so fast when I talk and things like that. I'm working on it. We're getting a little bit better each time, I hope. Okay, so next we have some new starts. This is Universal Monsters. It was originally a stitch along. It's no longer a current stitch along, but there is a Facebook group, and there I will also link to where you can get it off of the Witchy Stitchers website. So this is part of my hashtag stitchyforwitchy. And since we've spoken, I did all the threads came in, so all the beautifulness of threads. If you watched my last video, I mentioned that Brandon started printing me some floss drops. So I've converted about all of my projects to floss drops except for the 3 really big ones. Like if they have more than 35 colors, they're not in floss drops. They're still in the little baggies in the box. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. And this is what it looks like right now. So just started on the moon. I'm doing the larger moon version. There's a lot of different things you can adjust and add and do on this sal. The fabric is Storm. The colorway Storm. It is a 32 count Lugana from Picture This Plus. I got it off of 123 Stitch. And I tried to grid this with the metallic sulky thread that I kept messing up, and I just got annoyed with it. So I found the center with this little, I pinned the center of the whole project, and then went and found the top left corner and started doing Royal Rose method, which I'm enjoying on that. So there's a lot of different things you can do. It came with the 9 regular basic rooms, and even some of those are customizable to pick and choose which one you want. So I saw some people on Facebook doing even extra rooms, like 2 extra rooms on either side, and they had monsters like Morticia and Gomez and Beetlejuice and Lydia. So I think I may add those to mine too. I'm not sure if my fabric's big enough to do the 2 extra rooms on the sides, or if I'm gonna need to pick and choose which ones I do in the regular 9 room castle type thing. But when I take off my Q-snap to move it, I will look into that and see what's gonna work best. Start planning some more on that, because I've seen so many different customizations with this, and I've never really considered customizing a pattern before. I've just done what the pattern has said. So I'm a little excited to look into that. Obviously, I could not wait to start this one. I was going to wait until after I had finished the video game sampler to start it, but I just couldn't. It's too cute. It's too cute. I had to start it. And I'm just in the mood for some monsters. And I wanted to play with new things. So I did. And we'll talk more about that in plans of what I'm going to be doing. So next we have another stitch along. And I got this as a kit. So this is the Castle Homecoming, and I'll show you what it's going to look like, or what we know it's going to look like so far. They're up to 5 clues right now, and I've just started it, so I'm not even halfway through the first clue. But this is the threads for it. It does have 2 classic colorworks in it. One's variegated and one's not, and the rest are DMC. And I chose the 32 count Belfast kit. And when it came, and I'd already gone through trying to grid my even weave on the last one, that I didn't even try on this one. I just started stitching. Found the center, which is, let's see, which is this part right here, very center of the fabric, and I just started. So that's where we are right now. And that is 3 days, I believe. Sorry, I keep looking at my notes, but I don't want to miss anything. Yeah, I did 4 days on Monsters. I don't know if I told you that or not. The Monsters Universal piece. Universal Monsters. I don't know why I keep... Yeah. I'm not dyslexic. I just have some tendencies every now and then. Yeah, this is... Oh, crap. I didn't write it down. I believe it's only 3 days of stitching, though, that I started on this one. And this one, I've seen, it has a Facebook group, too. And I've seen a lot of people doing different colors of dragons on there. The main dragon is like a green and yellow, and I think maybe a little bit of blue in there, too. Those are actually UAB colors where Brandon graduated from, so he doesn't want me to change it. He likes it the way it is. But I've seen some that are like Maleficent colors, and then there was one that almost looks like Mad Madam Mim, and that one's really cute. I was thinking about changing it to the kind of like the Mad Madam Mim one, but a little bit more like Figment. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I've got a little ways before I'm going to actually start the dragon anyway, so I still have time to think about how I want to do it. But the regular one is cute, and Brandon does like it, so that may be what I do, because it will be easier not to change it. But I don't know. We'll get there, because I'm only on the first clue, and I think that's like the 3rd or 4th clue anyway, which you've seen the picture. It looks really cool. But I suggest if you like doing these, look them up on Instagram, the hashtag on Instagram, so you can see the different colorways people are doing it. They're so cool. I love it. Okay, so I obviously went a little stitch along crazy, stitch along happy lately. So now we'll get back into my regular whips. Okay, so now we have video game sampler, and this is what it will look like, and this is what it looked like last time. Let's see. Okay, so it's by Screaming Heart Designs, and I'm going to link it where you can find it in the description box. Here's all the floss for it. Such pretty colors. Oh, the floss that's left. I've already taken out some of the floss that I don't need anymore, because I have color completed a few things. Let's see. So here is where we are right now. Sorry about the cursey words if you don't like those, but it's cute. It's part of the pattern. Okay, so that is on 16 count black Aida, and I gridded it with metallic silky thread. And I'm using all the Call for DMC. And this was 8 days of stitching since we last saw it. So now we're at 69.5% complete. And we've got a little bit less than 4,000 stitches left. So hopefully we can get more on this one and get it completed soon. But we'll talk more about that in plans. I feel like I'm speeding through this now. I get a little excited, a little nervous. I tend to go faster. So I'm sorry. I'll calm down and just talk to you guys. Okay, so next we have Welcome to Diagon Alley, a country magic stitches. I'll put a link to where you can find it. I'm using all the called for DMC, which is right here. I think I may have only completed like one color of it, so maybe two. But this one's still pretty far along. And this one, sorry, it's still in the Q-snap. You can't really see that much there. There we go. And this is my other new needle minder from Stitch Fauna, Deborah at Stitch Fauna. Go. So this was, oh, I didn't show you. This is what it was, what it will look like. And here's where we were before. And now you've seen where we are now. I'm going to get better at this, you guys. I promise. I mean, I can't get much worse, right? Let's see. It is actually on sale right now, too, on her website. It is, or I say her, I'm not sure what their pronouns are, their website. It is $2.40 US dollars right now. But none of these links that I'm going to be putting in the description box are affiliated. I'm just a little old, beginner YouTuber. I'm not affiliated, or, I don't get anything for using links. I just put them in there so you could find stuff easy if you want to look for it. So this is on 16 count white Aida, just probably from Michael's or Amazon. I don't really remember. It's been a while since I started this one. It's gridded with metallic sulky thread, and we now have 14,000 stitches on it, and it's 62% complete. Okie dokie. Let's put this one away. And next we have Morticia. She's still one of my absolute favorites. And I did get all of her floss. This is pushing it for the floss drops, I think. All of hers just fits right on in there. And we have, this is what it will look like. And this is where we were before. And here we are now. This is Morticia by Medusa Dollmaker, charted and kitted by Gecko Rouge. And this is on 28 count even weave, the Zygarde easy count. And I'm doing 2/110 stitch in this one. All the other ones I've shown you have been full cross. This is the first 10 stitch today I've shown you. Let's see. And this is my little bag I'm keeping it in from Stitch Fauna. Deborah did an amazing job on it too. Love it. I'm gonna need some more bags, but we're going to be on a no-buy for the rest of the year. So until I get Christmas money or things like that, I'm not buying anything else for the rest of the year. Promise. Gonna try. Promise. I really am going to try. I've done really well the past few weeks after buying all the stuff for the stitch-alongs. Okay, so that is all the ones that I've worked on. So let me show you a little bit of haul real quick, and then we'll talk about plans. Alright, so I bought all of the stuff for the Universal Monsters stitch-along that I showed you already. And I bought the kit for the Castle Homecoming stitch-along that I already showed you already. But I also bought a Christmas stitch-along from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This is what they're showing as what it will look like. It's all blurred out image, but because it's a secret stitch-along. But I bought the kit for it, and I chose the 32 count even weave option. So it came with the fabric, which I'm going to need to zigzag stitch on it, and I'm probably going to forego doing the gridding because it's been working out so far on the other two. So hopefully I don't make any huge mistakes and I can just keep stitching along with no gridding. But it also came with the floss for it, which I do plan to put these on floss drops. I just haven't yet because it's going to be a little bit before I start this one. And I chose to get the needle minder. It is so cute. See it all? So that one is ready for me to, well, not ready. It's here and ready for a little bit of more work before it starts. This one starts on September the 25th. Yeah, and I'll have all the links in the description box where you can look into that if you'd like to see it. Over there. Okay, so that's all the haul. All the stitch along stuff that I bought. But I just showed you the last bit of it. I didn't buy anything else that I can think of. And I'm not going to be buying any more to the end of the year. So let's hold me to that. We're not doing any more. We're good. So plans. Okay. Whew. Plans. I really want to get video game sampler done. But I don't want to work on it. I know that sounds crazy. I've had a routine this entire year of working on 1,000 stitches on each project in order. And then they're just in order of the list that I've got going on an Excel sheet, a Google sheet that shows me that I put in how many stitches I did that day and things like that to keep up with it. And it's just for my record keeping. So I was working on 1,000, move on to the next in order, and that worked until now. Because now I've got Morticia and Haunted House that I really want to work on. I didn't even work on Haunted House at all this month, like, because I've gotten so many new things. So those have been like in my, like, really calling out to me, really wanting me to work on them. But then when I got Universal Monsters, when all the stuff got here for it, and I started really looking into it, I just needed to start it. So I started it. And then it was time to do the Witch's Cabinet. So I knocked that out. And it's going to have a release every day in October. So I really wanted to keep up with it. So I'm just, and then my stitch along for the Castle Homecoming, I'm already 5 clues down. They've already given out 5 clues and I'm only on the first one, so I'm way behind on it. So my regular routine is just gone. It's out the window. Bye-bye, regular routine. So I'm planning on staying caught up with Witch's Cabinet and trying to get caught up on the Castle Homecoming. Those are my 2 main things that I'm going to focus on. And every time I switch to another one, I'm going to try to put 500 stitches in on Video Game Sampler. So that one's like continuously going in the background, kind of, sort of. Just throw 500 stitches in. Then, if that isn't enough for the month, between now and the next time I see you, then, I don't know. I'm just going to do what I feel like it. I haven't touched Haunted House. I really want to touch on it. I will touch on it this month. It's going to happen. So maybe I'm just going to try doing whatever the heck I want this month and see how that works for me. And then maybe next year I'll look into doing WIP Go, since I have more WIPs now. Like I've looked at it before, but I didn't think I had enough different WIPs to really put into a WIP Go, but I think I might now. But I don't really know that much about them. So if you know much about them, or if you like some videos that explain WIP Go and how that all works, if you could put that in the comments down below, that would be great. I will look into each and every recommendation, suggestion that you guys have. In fact, any comments that you want to make suggesting anything to me, like different setups, different ways of doing things, anything, any kind of comments like that, I'm open to all suggestions. I mean, I'm just brand new starting out, and I really want to make this a great community, and which the community is already great. I meant like my little portion of it. You know what I mean? I'm not, you know what I mean. Okay, so I want to try just doing what I feel like doing, kind of. So I'm not going to start the Christmas Wonderland stitch along until after my Witch's Cabinet stitch along is complete, because Witch's Cabinet is going to be every day, and I don't really want to stitch on Christmas until after Halloween's done. That's just how I want to do it this time. So I'll be a little bit behind on that stitch along, but I know it'll be okay. I can get caught up or I cannot. I'm not worried about that. I'm just happy to be stitching while people are stitching, and I will be in November. So that is kind of the only real plan that I have. Okay, so I want to say a very special thank you to Leona at Gamey Stitcher. Yeah, Gamey Stitcher. She shouted me out in her last video, and I want to say thank you so much for that. So you guys go check her out. And also Kelsey at xstitchanchill. Her channel is amazing, and she shouted me out as well, but I've been watching her for a while too, and I really like her work a whole lot. So y'all go check them out. I've also been watching Frizzy Lizzy Stitches, of course, and Cross Stitch Smiles with Jessie, and I'll see what else have I watched lately. Of course, Just Keep Stitching, and I think that's all that I've watched recently since my last Stitch With Me, when we talked about it that a lot. I've also been watching Criminal Minds, some more of that, and I've been listening to a book on Audible, A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. It's the second of the series that everybody's been talking about. This is actually my second time trying to go through that one. I'm getting back to where I first stopped listening to it, so it's better this time. Maybe it's really not my favorite, but what all of y'all been watching and reading, so I can get some ideas here. But that's really all that I have to talk about today. Thank you so much to those of you that have been watching and subscribing, and thank you so much to those that are brand new here. Please consider liking and subscribing, and to help grow the channel. I would really appreciate it. Please comment down below. Just get a conversation started, especially if you have any like really good layouts for plans and goals for the year or the rest of this year, things like that. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much, and happy stitching. See you next time.